Welcome to Celtics Today. I am Will Scott, and this could be a big day for the Boston Celtics. We've talked a lot about the TPE on the show. However, that expires at 11:59 tonight. Here is what Keith Smith is reporting. The Boston Celtics $17.1 million trade player exception from the Evan Fournier sign-and trade expires today. Last chance for Boston to use the NBA's current largest TPE. So if the Celtics are able to make a move today, who do you want the Celtics to trade for? Go down in the comments section and let me know. We are going to talk about 7 different players on today's show that fit in to the Celtics TPE. But first, let's go over this TPE. Fan Nation explained it fairly well. When the Celtics executed an Evan Fournier sign-and-trade with the New York Knicks last offseason, they created $17 million in trade player exception for themselves, allowing them to absorb a contract up to this amount in any trade. This TPE, though, does not last forever and is set to expire on Monday, July 18th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. What this means is that the Celtics could put together a trade on either Sunday or Monday, and obviously today's Monday, and wind up utilizing this exception, but cannot use it on Tuesday or beyond. This is like Cinderella and the glass slipper. The clock is ticking. Brad Stevens, get this done, because what the TPE allows is the Celtics to absorb a contract that is less than $17.1 million without having to worry about the salary cap consequences. Today is a big deal. Now, this is why you subscribe. This is why you turn on your notifications. You do not want to miss anything. A deal could go down today. If it does, we are going to get you a video ASAP. Subscribe, turn on those notifications so you do not miss anything. The first player we're talking about is a potential TPE target, is someone we talked about the other day. That is Jared Vanderbilt, who was with the Minnesota Timberwolves. However, he was traded as part of the Gobert trade to Utah, and Utah could look to flip this guy very quickly. Here is what he did last season, a decent forward/center off the bench. He's someone you could trade for and kind of have be your backup small ball center. 8.4 rebounds per game. I like his physicality. I like what he brings to the table, but I still think there's better options out there for a backup center. You can go and sign, let's say, a LaMarcus Aldridge or Hassan Whiteside, it's Dwight Howard on the league minimum, and then use your TPE to trade for a shooter. That's what I would prefer the Celtics to do. A shooter that you could do that with is Doug McDermott. Dougie Buckets, let's get him to Boston, who has obviously been a great three-point shooter throughout his entire career. Spent last season with the Spurs. 8-year veteran at this point, 40% career three-point shooter. Could be a perfect fit off the bench. We heard Ime Udoka the other day at the Summer League say they want to add a shooter off the bench. Dougie McBuckets might be that guy. Here's what he did in the Alamo City last season. 11.3 points per game, shot 42.2% from three. I want Brad to make this move because his salary fits into the TPE, Doug McDermott's, and he could be someone you bring off the bench, is a reliable shooting option. This makes too much sense not to happen. Let's make this happen. I absolutely want Brad Stevens to make this move. Now, if you want Doug McDermott in Boston, go down, spam Dougie McBuckets down in the chat. He is my number one TPE target for the Celtics. I absolutely think the Celtics should make this move. Let's go to Naz Reid now, who could be a backup center option. Now, he was not involved in the trade that brought Gobert to Minnesota, so he's still in Minnesota. It was kind of hard to keep track of how many guys were in that deal. Naz Reid was not included. Here's what Fanside said about Naz. Reid's shot is a work in progress, but there's nowhere near as much work needing to be done as opposed to maybe Jared Vanderbilt. The former LSU Tiger owns a career 34% three-point conversion rate and has improved his efficiency vastly the past 2 years. Now, if you had to pick one to trade for to be your backup center, Who are you trading for? Is it Jared Vanderbilt or is it Naz Reid? Go down in the comments section and let me know. For me, it's Naz Reid. I think he's the better option. Rudy Gay, someone else who might be available, and pretty much everybody on the Utah Jazz right now is up for grabs. Anybody that is on the Jazz currently could get traded. That includes Rudy Gay. Here's what he did last season. You're obviously talking about a veteran who's been in the league a long time, has been a reliable option off the bench the last couple seasons. 8.1 points per game, 34% from three. He's decent. I think there's better options out there, but I certainly would not be disappointed if Stevens made this move trading for Gay, and you will not be disappointed if you go get this Chat Sports Polo we're giving you here. It's on sale right now. You can get this for $35. Exactly. Producer Chugs can't even believe it. I think this polo I'm wearing, most polos these days are what, Chugs, like $50, $60? This is $34.99. Go and take advantage of it, and I'm hearing from my bosses that this deal might expire at the end of the day. So much like the TPE will expire at the end of the day, this might expire. Go get your Chat Sports Celtics Polo, chatsports.com/Celtics Polo. Great deal we're giving you. That link is in the comments and the description of this video. Jordan Clarkson, we've obviously talked a lot about him. His $13.4 million salary would fit in to the Celtics TPE. He might be the highest caliber player we're talking about today. 16.0 points per game, 31.8% from three. That marks a little bit low for me. 42% field goal percentage. Pretty solid player. So the Celtics TPE, $17.1 million. His salary, $13.34. So do the math. That fits. That works. Brad Stevens could make this move without having to worry about the cap. Now, do you want to trade for Jordan Clarkson? Type T for trade or type P for pass. Down in the comments section, go down and let me know what you think. If they trade for Clarkson, probably got to do it by the end of the day. Here is Kelly Olynyk, someone who is a familiar name, obviously, amongst Celtics fans. Played for the C's the first 4 seasons of his NBA career. And Bleacher Report put out an article about 2 weeks ago saying that Olynyk needs to be the Boston Celtics' top target this offseason. And I was like, whoa! Ahead of Malcolm Brogdon, they wrote this article before the Brogdon trade. He's set to make a little bit north of $12 million next season. He would fit into the 17.1 TPE. So played with the Celtics from 2013 to 2017. Played for Detroit last season after he was with the Houston Rockets. Was phenomenal in Houston. Averaged 17.1 points per game over there in H-Town. Here's what he did in the Motor City. 9.1 points per game, 4.4 rebounds per game. He would be a very, very solid backup center option. I would not mind bringing Olynyk back to Boston. I'm sure he would have a lot of interest in that trade if it was possible. Jakob Poeltl might be the most unrealistic trade option, but he'd be phenomenal, right? You're talking about a guy that averaged nearly a double-double last season. His $9.39 million salary fits within the TPE, and he's on an expiring contract. So you might not have to give up multiple players or multiple picks to get him because he just has 1 year left on his contract with the Spurs. It appears the Spurs are kind of going toward a rebuilding phase. They want to have the number 1 pick next year to get Wembanyama. Will the Celtics make a trade today? Go down and predict it. I'm going to say yes, which is why you should turn on your notifications so you do not miss anything. I'm telling you, Brad has something up his sleeve. Look, the Celtics have made some I would say predictable moves. I mean, we talked about them getting Brogdon before it happened. We talked about them getting Gallinari before it happened. Maybe today will be a more unpredictable move, a player that we hadn't talked about, a move we didn't see coming. A move I think we did see coming, though, was them signing Mfiondu Kabengele to a 2-way contract. That became official over the weekend, right after the Celtics wrapped up their summer league. So he deserves it. It's obviously just a 2-way contract, but he's going to get some minutes with the NBA roster. So I'm excited for him. Here's what he did in the summer league in 5 games. Nearly 15 points per game, 8.2 rebounds per game. He set a Celtics summer league record with 2.2 blocks per game. Obviously, very exciting when you're talking about the possibility of seeing him some in Boston this upcoming season. Here's what Brian Robb said about Cabangeli. Brad Stevens has been open about the Celtics' desire to add another bench reserve alongside Luke Kornet, and league sources have hinted to Mass Live that Boston may target a younger player in the Summer League for that role if they don't land someone via trade, which obviously could happen today. Cabangeli has clearly put his hat in the race for a spot in training camp given his all-around contributions this week. That coming from Mass Live's Brian Robb. Now, what is your one-word reaction to signing Mfiondu Kabengele? Go down in the comments section and let me know. I think we all saw a two-way deal coming. He had an outside chance of maybe landing an NBA deal. He does have NBA experience, 51 career games played. My one word is deserved. I mean, I'm happy that this guy's going to be staying with the Celtics organization. He's someone that is a dark horse to be the backup center next year. Let's say they don't sign anybody else or make another trade. And then you have Luke Kornet and Cabangeli kind of competing for that role. I think Cabangeli has the upper hand there. It's deserved. He played exceptionally well in the Summer League. He might have been the Celtics Summer League MVP if I had to name one. He was a little bit more J.D. Davison obviously had a pretty strong finish this Summer League, but Cabangeli each and every single game was fantastic. So here were the results. So they lost to the Heat, then beat the Bucks, Warriors, Grizzlies, and then lost to the Nets to wrap up the Summer League. So pretty solid showing from the Summer Celts, going 3-2 over there in Las Vegas. Thanks for watching this edition of Celtics Today. Again, they could make a trade today. Go down, turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything. Could be Jakob Poeltl, could be Jordan Clarkson, could be Dougie McBuckets.